I flew 10 days prior to my event to Leh for acclimatization, because the air is very thin over there. There's very less oxygen, and for us people living near to the sea level, it's very important to get the body acclimatized, especially when you are going there for a particular event. I started this event of Leh-Manali on 22nd of July, 6 a.m. from Leh Gate. It is a big event for me, obviously. Look, they are tracking me, and there are many people following me. So, there was always this nervousness. Then the ride started really well. Everything was going as visualized, pitch perfect. And I was feeling really great. Like, a rider has always this feeling. His body talks to him. It tells him, you are in great form. You're doing really well. You feel the zeal. Your muscles talk to you that, yo man, let's crack it, and stuff like that. So yeah, I felt that, and that's quite a positive sign. And I started. The only thing was the weather was really cold, but I was like, yeah, we are prepared for it. So let's just not think about it and keep riding. It was like something around 0 to 4 degrees Celsius, even in the mornings. At times the sunlight came, but it's still cold. I was riding good, and as far as I'm riding good, that's the main point. So I felt good riding, and until this one time when I got my first cramp. I got my cramp on my right thigh. It was on my inner thigh, and when I got this cramp, I was like really frustrated, because getting a cramp in an event is not a good sign. It may be a small cramp or big cramp, doesn't matter, but the mental disturbance that you have, the mental confidence that you have, that we are prepared for it and stuff like that, it immediately breaks. May it be a small cramp or a big cramp, doesn't matter at that time. And I was completely mentally kind of disturbed. This is something which I am not at all expecting. You go in a state of overthinking, but it's just like getting over it. I got this first cramp. It hurted like hell, and still I was okay. Like, what? Let's just go with the flow. Let's take it slow. We are well in time, and let's just keep going consistently. Like, whether it be slow or fast doesn't matter at that point. This was while climbing Tanglangla, the first major pass, and that's when this was happening. So it's a climb, there's lesser oxygen, I'm gaining altitude, which means I'm again going in lower oxygen levels, and it's a very high gradient. So in climbs, when you have a cramp, you have to stop, and that's what was hitting me really hard. It was really it was really painful, mentally and physically both. Somehow I managed to clinch over the Tanglangla pass, which is the 17,600 feet, which was the highest pass I would encounter in this expedition. It was good that after the Tanglangla top, it's a decent. So I took over the mountain bike, I started riding, and again, belonging to racing backgrounds, descending is something which we are at really fast at. Even the crew vehicle cannot catch up with us. So yeah, I remember I was riding like 75-80 kilometers an hour on this descent, going really fast, and I was enjoying that zeal, having the mountain bike in my hand rather than like I kept the road bike, because there were bad patches in between. Because if I see a bad patch and I have a road bike, I need to slow down. There are no suspensions, nothing. So I need to slow down. I need to anticipate the road, anticipate the speed, and then ride my bike. But in MTB, it's like, bro, it's a mountain bike, you have suspensions and stuff like that, just use it. So I just unlocked my suspensions. I just went with the flow, the curvy roads, and all I completely enjoyed descending that downhill. It was a long downhill. So from there was this one area called More Plains. It was a plain, but when it's a plain, it's between two valleys, and there's where the air stucks up, and there was very, very strong winds, and the problem was those winds were headwinds, which is completely against the cyclist. They just push you back, and you need to exert as much as you are exerting on a climb. You cannot, you're always mentally prepared that after this Tanglang, I'm going to get this More plains. These are going to be plains where I can just recover and take the full advantage, take the speed and keep going without exerting much. But when you see such headwinds, it's like, bro, no. And it kind of hurts, but wind is something you cannot control. They'll keep changing, so just keep riding persistently. After that, I remember one place where I was descending and I had my road bike. I was completely in that zeal of let's show our skills and keep going and stuff like that. But I don't know, somewhere I misjudged the my speed and my braking speed and stuff like that, and it was a sharp turn, very sharp turn. So I kind of went out of control, but I realized it quite beforehand that I'm not gonna make it. And then I again left my bike, came on the road on my lane, started riding, and this time I was much more cautious. It was kind of a learning, bro. That's a warning to you from the God. Just take it easy. There are moments like this when you are like really thankful to the God, and yeah, it's just mesmerizing at times. My crew always said, man, just enjoy the scenery, just enjoy the landscapes. There's such unique shades of rocks, unique shades of mountains all over the place. And I was like, bro, no, I am not able to do that. I don't find it intriguing. All I see is my road and my line of riding, and that's something I am only able to see. Like even if I am able to look, I'm not able to appreciate the landscape or appreciate anything out there, because I was completely focused on the road. And I think being off the focus and just chilling for some time, even in such record attempts, is important, and one must do that, because it changes the mindset, it lightens the mood, it freshens you up, and you have something different to look upon to and appreciate the scenery. It completely detaches you from the pressure. So it's good to do that, but I somehow couldn't manage to do that. I was like, no, I need to stick to my timing. All I can see is the road I need to ride on. So in that mental phase, there are different things you come up with to quit. Like, okay, I have so many cramps, I'm gonna quit. It's hurting a lot, I'm gonna quit. It's really cold, I'm gonna quit. It wasn't really in my favor. I was really struggling. So there are these special people in my life whom I would visualize while riding. So my dad wasn't with me, my mom wasn't with me, so I would just visualize my dad running besides me. He's like, come on, no, this is not your best, you got this. And something like that I would just visualize, like kind of a hallucination. I would create a hallucination for myself while cycling on those climbs. My speed wasn't anything more than 7 or 8 kilometers an hour. And my dad I would see my dad running besides me, saying he would just run and go ahead and stop and clap, cheer for me. Being like thinking mentally like that could be the reason I could get away from the cramps, because I completely diverted my mind to something different. So I reached Lachungla, I descended Lachungla, and then I reached Nakila, then I descended Nakila. So I remember this one place where it was near Sarchu, while approaching a bridge, and I crossed the bridge, and there wasn't a road, the bridge ended in a river kind of thing. I was like, now, okay, I need to do some river crossing too. There has to be a road over here. But we realized that the road had been, it had washed away. It had been washed away, and it was a stream of river through which we, I picked up my bicycle and I started walking through it, because it was impossible riding it. In an hour, around 5:30, it started, sunlight came up, gradual, and that's when I enjoyed the beauty of the nature, It was really beautiful, and Manali is something which has been really close to my heart. I have been going there every year for past many years, and approaching Manali was something which was a emotional pulling factor for me also. The scenery, the landscape says it all. It's really beautiful. It totally feels like heaven. but I was completely drained. So this was really hard for me getting through it. These two ghats of 7 kilometers and 12 kilometers I remember, which I really struggled on. I was like, this is not ending, this should end. I'm like riding for an hour and it's still not complete. The ghat is not finishing. I was like really frustrated, and I literally broke down in tears, and it's not happening. And I somehow held to it. I again started thinking about those loved ones who always have adored me, acknowledged me, and supported me. Somehow managed to overcome those two ghats. And then later on, it was like the Atal Tunnel. We approached Atal Tunnel, which was a very great news, because after Atal Tunnel till Manali, it's really a easy roll. And I was quite convinced for it. So I was just enjoying that downhill. I was just going really fast, and I just had to finish it for once and all. Obviously enjoying it and completely going through it. So it was a really good phase. That was the best phase, I guess. Like when I reached the Atal Tunnel, if someone asked me what is your best part of this event, I would say there is nothing best, because throughout it was a torture. It wasn't an event, it was a torture to my body, and it was really difficult. It is the toughest of all I have done till date, and so it was really, really difficult. And I won't recommend anyone to do this unless and until you're ready for torturing yourself. It's as good as a torture. So I reached the mall road. I had this Khemraj sir who came to receive me, and there were people standing to receive me. There were media reporters. It felt really good. Finally, it was done, and the record was made. The previous record of 35 hours and 33 minutes was broken, and I did it in 27 hours and 55 minutes, and which was a really satisfying feat for me.
सही है.
बंद करना
झालंय.
बंद कर
बरोबर.
झालं